We're back, baby.
Week
Episode 2. Take 5.
A24 Pod.
A24 Pod, baby. We're here.
We're here.
Not the A24 Podcast, guys.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
That's the official podcast.
You might have thought you were clicking on them, but you were clicking on us.
Yeah.
Thank
the
you.
Unofficial A24 Pod.
And you can leave right now. Thank you for the view.
Yeah, baby. No. Please stick around.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Mike, what's the movie this week?
This week we're talking about High Life, starring Robert Pattinson.
Oh, the new Batman?
Yes,
Ooh.
Batman himself.
Congratulations. With great power comes great weird movies.
Yes. All right. Well, this movie is directed by Claire Denis.
Claire Denis.
Claire Denis, famous French director.
Famous.
Famous. That's what Chase said.
Yeah.
Leave that for the facts, man.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Yeah, he'll let you know.
I'll let you fucking know.
All right. This movie premiered September 9th, 2018 at the Toronto International Film Festival.
Or TIFF, as they call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
No
Yeah.
problem. I was there for that.
Yeah. All right. And it came out April 5th of 2019 in the United States.
I think that's just about 3 months.
Yeah. Chase. Wow. We are on the ball.
We're
today. I
on
love
the ball
Love
with
it.
the facts.
It had a budget of 8 million euros, so someone's got to do the
10 million
translation.
bucks.
Sorry, I
Around
don't have
10
a
million
calculator.
bucks.
This
Guess what the box office was?
how much?
1.9 million.
Oh.
You know, it's
Wait, how much again was it to make 8 million euro?
€8.
Do you remember this being in theaters?
I do.
I
I
don't
remember when it
remember
came
it
out,
at
but it
all.
was it was one of those movies where it's like a week or two,
Yeah, I don't remember this movie.
and I don't think it was even wide released.
No.
No, let's get down to it.
What's this movie about?
All right. This movie is about a group of criminals serving death sentences are sent on an alternative energy finding mission in space.
An alternative energy finding?
Yeah, they do mention
do
that.
mention that at one point.
They're trying to extract energy from the black hole, right?
But how
Okay.
is a bunch of convicts going to be able to figure that out?
They're not even like that. They're basically just guinea pigs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
They're not scientists.
See, now
No.
that quick summary is the best one that I've heard. Because like we said, I read that other one. I don't know if we said it on this podcast.
no,
or
we haven't said
or
it
the
yet.
other podcast.
I think
we
that was
did.
take
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, take
This
3.
is take 5.
I love Take Fives, man.
Yeah,
They're
it's
great.
going well. All right, Chase, go on.
No, I forget what I was going to say.
The other reviews.
Oh yeah,
No, that was
yeah.
the other plot summary that you read.
Oh yeah. So like the other one was, it made no sense because it didn't even talk. It just said that there was a guy and his baby, and they were the sole survivors trying to make it to a black hole, which we'll get into. But the baby and him,
Yeah, I mean that is one aspect of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie starts with that da-da,
yeah,
da-da.
weird
and
fucking
then 5
Dobie
minutes of crying.
Yeah, then
wearing
crying.
like Dobie's weird sweat rag from Harry Potter, hands
Yeah.
stitched and stuff.
So the movie does start with him and the baby. The baby's crying,
Mhm.
and he's out doing his little missions, right? He's fucking
Fixing.
tending the garden,
Yep.
resetting the computer. Every 24 hours, he's like input some data
It's
to
like
make
Lost. Remember that?
the... Yeah, it's like Lost. Where he's
You
like,
had to put
input
the numbers
code.
in every...
That was like every couple hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
Mm.
every 8 hours or something.
I can't remember.
The smoke
I'm
monster.
talking out of my ass at this point.
The first...
This is the Wikipedia plot. I feel like that this might be the best way to describe this movie because
Mm.
we could sit here for an hour babbling because the movie was so incoherent. But all right, so a group of criminals serving death sentences are sent on a energy finding mission from a black hole. Each prisoner is treated as a guinea pig by Dr. Dibbs. Man, she was a weird character, right?
Yeah. Fucking weird bitch.
Oh god, she would like masturbate and like
There's a lot. There's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot. I don't
There's
even know
a
where to
lot.
begin.
There's a lot of that.
All right. So Dr. Dibbs is fixated on creating a child through artificial insemination, but yet has yet to find success. So that's like the basis of this movie. Is like
Yeah.
she's trying to take these prisoners and get one of them pregnant to have a successful birth and living baby in outer space. Right?
Mm.
That's her mission.
Yeah. That's
But
her
apparently the real mission is to find an alternative energy source.
Yeah, because they do mention that.
They mentioned it one time.
But I feel like the movie kind of gives up on that.
Yeah, the
Like,
movie was more about the baby thing.
Yeah. So sexual activity between prisoners is prohibited. So they can't fuck each other.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't understand.
They're allowed to
Wouldn't that be
murder each
easier?
other. They're just not allowed
Yeah,
to
they should
fuck
just start
each other.
fucking and let the
Yeah.
natural process happen.
Plus, the whole rule thing is just interesting. How they all
Maybe because of
follow the
STDs
rules.
or something?
Yeah, they all follow the rules.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to murder.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to that. The ship is equipped with the box, a device obsessively
The box.
used by the crew
It's
to
the fuck
masturbate.
box.
So the Dr. Dibbs character is the first person you see go into the box.
Riding the fuck.
Yeah,
box.
where it's like this metal dildo that comes up and it's like.
I love how she like. You know those ticket counters at the subway that you got to walk through?
Yeah.
It's like that, where she just like cranks it over to the next.
Yeah, it
one.
looks like a banana version of that.
She's like,
Yeah.
like next dildo.
Yeah. And that scene was crazy. She fucks the dildo. She puts her arms in the air like she's a witch, and all of a sudden the fucking weird dildo table turns into like a weird goat or something.
Yeah,
what
it's
the
like
fuck
she's.
is going on?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I
that.
well, when the black guy was talking about it, and he was saying like that's a weird hole to fall down. It seemed like there was something else to it where it teased your wildest fantasies almost. You know, like whoever goes in there has a wild experience, no matter.
Oh,
what
that
it
makes
is.
sense.
And
Okay.
that just kind of was what she manifested.
Yeah, because what was his face? Andre 3000 was like, oh, there's masturbating, and then there's that box.
Yeah,
It's a
like talking
whole
about
nother
it, like
thing,
how
yeah.
it was like too much, you know. So it's like the pleasure that it gives you. It kind of like, you know, it appetizes you.
Oh, here we go. Here's a fact. Dibbs, the character Dr. Dibbs, murdered her own children and husband. When did that even come up in the movie?
I don't know.
She
if
did?
It did.
That's what it says.
She
here,
made
yeah.
a comment
In real
about
life or
like
in the
No,
movie?
in the fucking movie.
like I know she made a comment about like whatever she did was pretty bad or it was the worst out of all of
Oh
them.
wait, that was her crime for getting on the
Did
thing.
they mention?
But
did
they
you
don't.
remember that?
I don't know.
No,
specifics. I don't know any of the crimes.
They might have fucking hinted towards
Robert
it, man, at
Pattinson.
some
They
point.
might have.
You figure out, but that's
Yeah.
really it.
But he's
No one else
he's the only one that I know of. All right, the only celibate prisoner, Monty, who is Robert Pattinson, rejects Dibbs' sexual advances. Monty is serving a life sentence for killing his friend over a dog as a child. Monty's only friend on the ship is how do you pronounce this girl's name? The blonde, Tacherney, right?
He wasn't friends with her. He was friends with the black
No,
guy.
there was some friendship a little bit. They're kind of like when she cut him in the beginning, like there was some weird like
Yeah, when she cut him in the
friendliness.
beginning, right?
Mm.
yeah, but I don't know. The movie's
She was
fucking
all
weird.
she was doing was carving her name in the wall because I don't know, fuck it, we're on a spaceship for fucking 3 years. All she was doing was carving her name in the wall, and he runs over and tackles her like she was trying to kill someone.
Oh wait, no, I think that his only friend Tacherney. Man, this movie's
It's the black guy.
Is the black guy?
It's got it.
He was
Yeah.
drawn to the garden because it reminds him of Earth. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
reading. I'm sorry.
Okay. Black
He is
guy
friends
was-
with the blonde hair girl. Like there is some friendliness.
No,
to
I
it.
mean there's a connection there, but
Yeah.
they're both too crazy.
yeah, they're all crazy on this ship.
They're both too crazy. The only sane one's the black guy.
And then all right,
Yeah,
He
he
wants
just
to
gave
smoke
up.
a little weed and fucking hang out, dude.
yeah. So the captain Chandra, you don't. I hate reading these
Chandra.
sometimes because you don't
Yeah,
know the
movies
names
like that. I
Yeah,
hate
like
when movies
Monty-
do that.
When I read it earlier, it was like Monty and his baby, like that shitty summary.
I didn't know his
and
name
I'm
was
like,
Monty.
yeah.
Willow.
Oh, you
I
know
did hear
why?
that.
The only reason why that you could pick up on it was the coats, the equipment hanging up with their names, which is like a tiny frame.
Oh, okay,
And anyone that
okay.
would actually
Oh,
see
yeah,
that,
dude,
read it, and then
This isn't the Fifth Element, dude. I'm not looking into every detail. This movie's not worth it.
no,
You know,
definitely
like
not.
that's what
Not
they
at all.
anticipate us to do, but I'm not doing that.
Spoiler alert: we might have not liked this movie.
Yeah,
But
fucking
anyway.
sucked.
Yeah.
All right, so the Captain Chandra develops leukemia
Chandra.
due to radiation, has a stroke
No one's
before
named
being
Jen.
euthanized by Dibbs. This movie's jumping all around. That happens like
Yeah,
isn't it like 45 minutes in.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not much that goes on for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's mostly just him tending
Doesn't
to the
even
garden.
really turn into a movie until like 30 minutes in.
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
There's a really fucking strict point where it does turn into
Because-
like a real movie.
Because in the beginning, it's just him and the baby,
Yeah.
and him talking to the baby is there's no
Yeah.
real dialogue.
Then there's actual narration.
Then there's real dialogue and narration.
And you start to get at least slight hint about what the fuck is going on. All right, so pregnant prisoner Electra, I didn't even know her name, the black girl, dies along with her newborn infant. One night, a Tory finds Boise and her roommate Mink to their. Oh, oops. This is so stupid. One night, a Tory binds Boise and her roommate Mink to their beds and attempts to rape Boise. See, I'm having trouble right now because these
Yeah.
names don't mean anything to me.
Yeah,
I
I
just
know.
watched a movie.
They're
we
talking
don't know
about
their names.
the blonde
Yeah.
guy, the Asian chick.
So there's a
and-
blonde. One of the inmates is blonde with neck
Neck
tattoos and all
tattoos,
stuff, and he's definitely creepy. He's masturbating at one point to like
He's masturbating.
he's masturbating to the doctor at one point. He's just standing there.
Yeah, you can
jerking
tell
off.
he's like pent up and something. He's gonna do
Yeah.
something. You can tell he's gonna do something.
So one night on the ship, he just gets out of bed and just says, "This is it.
He just opens his eyes and he goes, "Today's the day."
Today's the day."
You know what? Fuck it.
So he goes in there and he ties the girls up and he takes his pants off.
When did he tie him up?
Yeah, I don't know, 'cause-
I don't remember because they were also tied up in another scene after he was dead.
Yeah, it says
You
right
know?
here that he did bind him. I don't remember that.
I thought the implication was that they were already tied up to
Yeah,
the bed.
okay.
Like I think, like
That
it was
makes
the
more sense.
it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
doctor doing it.
Well,
or
also
something.
because Dibbs, the doctor, made a comment, I think, about like tying them up if she had to, or something earlier.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
She
yeah.
made some kind of
she
comment.
did.
And then when you saw that they were tied up and that guy went in to go,
Yeah, because that wasn't like he like took a shoestring and tied them down. It was
No.
like it was like
It was
straps.
like zip ties almost.
It was like straps to the bed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So the guy with neck tattoos goes in there, starts raping her. The roommate starts freaking out. He gets up, punches her in the face a few times.
yeah, full bore punches.
Full blown. He's naked with his fucking cock out. He hops back on, starts raping her again. Another girl runs in.
The
He starts
captain or the pilot.
the pilot.
Yeah.
Who's another criminal. They're all criminals.
Tachanka.
Yeah, whatever her name is. He starts punching the shit out of her. And
He
all of a
punches her in the face fucking like 16 times.
sudden- And then Robert Pattinson and Andre 3000 hear
Andre
it.
3000.
So they run in there, and Robert Pattinson starts beating the shit out of him. And then the girls, they leave the room, and then one girl gets up and just starts stabbing him in the fucking face a few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, the girl he punched, the Asian chick, she like
Yeah.
had a shard of glass hitting under
Yeah.
her pillow,
And then he
fucking
dies.
Stabs him in the eye like 16 times,
And he dies.
and he's dead. Thank
Another
God.
character down. All right. Then so then after that, the doctor starts doubling down on the amount of sedatives each prisoner receives. So all of a sudden now, all the criminals start becoming really sedated and like sleepy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
hmm
So then the doctor hops on top of Robert Pattinson and rapes him,
Yep.
Rides him and rapes him.
and he cream pies her.
Yeah.
As dirty as that
Boston
sounds.
creams.
Yeah. And then she squats down.
She harvests.
She pushes all the cum out of her vagina into her hand and then injects it into the blonde hair girl.
She had red hair.
Was
Was
it
this
red? It was
all-
like strawberry blonde?
Yeah. So was this the same night that she got raped? Or
No,
just, like, the
I
next
think
day?
I think it was
You
like
don't
the
really
next
know.
Could have
day.
been. It could have been 6 months.
Time's a flat circle.
There's
I thought
no
that
way
she-
to know.
I
Time's
always
a
thought
flat
that
circle.
she did it because then, like that girl, when she realized she was pregnant, like later on, was crying because she thought it was the guy that raped her. So I wasn't sure if she tried to do it.
Yeah, I don't think the
Oh,
girl
yeah.
ever knew that it wasn't the guy who raped her.
Yeah, I
No.
think she thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she didn't know. Yeah, did Robert Pattinson's character even know?
I don't know.
Does he ever even know that the kid's his?
Well, remember when
Yeah,
the doctor
Right, but yeah,
Yeah.
She puts herself out in space. She tells him, she's like, "It's your daughter." Blah blah blah. I can sense she's really strong.
oh, that's right.
yeah.
All right, as the ship approaches the black hole, the pilot Nansen, that's the pilot's name.
The skinny blonde,
Yeah, with a long neck.
Nansen.
Nansen prepares to take a shuttle into the black hole. This is one of the best scenes of the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to the other prisoners, Boise kills Nansen with a shovel and takes her place.
Yeah, you see her going down the elevator with a shovel in her hand,
Yeah.
and then they don't show her killing her, but then they just show the next scene is her in the ship,
Yeah.
and it's not the pilot, it's the fucking redheaded bitch.
So the shuttle travels through a molecular cloud inside the black hole, causing Boise to explode from the effects of spaghettification.
Yeah,
Huh.
because
It's the vertical stretching and horizontal compressions of objects into long, thin shapes.
the
Gravitational field. Yeah.
pull is so strong from the
That's
black
crazy. I
hole
never
that
knew-
it literally pulls your particles apart. Like
Wow.
nothing can escape a black hole, not even light. So
Yeah.
like there's no way that a human body or a spaceship could make it past the plane of a black hole.
Mm.
It just gets the molecules literally get separated apart. That's what a molecular cloud is. It's just everything that's drifted into the black hole. All its matter is just the fucking gravity.
Seems like a
It was cool when she started like experiencing the G's and she was like,
Yeah.
like fucking her. She's bleeding out her eyes, her nose, her ears, and her mouth, and like I hated her. So it was so satisfying to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
her die like that.
She was the most annoying character in the
And then her
movie.
face was like pushed up against the glass, and she's like, "Arr!" and then her head just pops. It's fucking great.
Yeah, they showed her feet were like starting to stretch out too.
Yeah, like her whole existence was
Yeah, it
getting
was
like
getting stretched.
like warped, like looking through a glass, like a cup or something. You
Yeah.
know, like the image was warped.
So as soon as she dies and then evaporates into the black hole, all of a sudden the whole crew starts going crazy.
yeah.
You know, that the one Asianish prisoner goes after the doctor with a shovel,
Mhm.
and then Robert Pattinson turns and kills her.
Yeah.
Yeah, does he kill her?
Yeah.
They don't really show it, but I'm assuming 'cause
Yeah.
he kind of like hits her and
He like,
then
hits her and she dies instantly, I guess.
yeah.
So then all of a sudden after that, Andre 3000 just lays down in the garden
Oh yeah.
and he just
He's
dies.
just like, you know what, man? I'd rather die in the dirt.
Yeah.
And they walk into the little plant area, the garden, and he just lays down on the dirt.
It says right here, Tichurny commits suicide by burying himself in the garden. So it's implied that he does put dirt on.
How could you bury yourself in 6 inches of dirt?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Then you'd be able to bury yourself with a blanket.
It's like holding a pillow over your face and trying to kill yourself.
Yeah,
It's not gonna work.
He just laid there and gave up. I mean,
Monty, now the only surviving prisoner, disposes of the bodies from each cryo chamber in space, which is weird because that happens in the fucking beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
And they were all in there, so it was almost like he collected all the bodies and then put them in there.
yeah, like he was gonna
went
save
back.
the bodies or
Yeah.
something.
so like the movie starts, like we said, with him and the baby. Then it cuts to all this backstory. Then, literally like 3/4 of the way through the movie, all of a sudden it's like 15 years later, and the daughter is not a baby anymore. It's like a 15-year-old girl, and there we go. That's the final third of the movie. Pretty much is
Yeah.
him and a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah,
Yep, that's it.
You know, and
which
like
was some of the best.
it was the best part of the movie. I thought. Like
Mhm.
I wish the whole movie was like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I wish the other stuff, all the horny, fucking sexual craziness of the movie, was told in literally just flashbacks.
Yeah,
You know, I didn't like how the first half of the movie was just straight that part of the
Yeah.
backstory.
It was weird.
It
I
was
think it
definitely
just
weird.
I think it
Too
made
much.
it too hard to get into. So then it was like you just didn't really care to figure it out anyway because you just got kind of sick of it.
Yeah, you get sick. You got
You know?
sick of the overly horny characters
I
and
would
the
have
crazy
rather
sexual.
had it start with him and the daughter maybe being older, and then like kind of like showing them and all that, and then flashbacks or going back to what the prisoners.
Yeah, it
and
should have
stuff.
just been
Yeah.
them two in the ship, her as a teenager, and then her learning about everything that happened.
Yeah,
and then
there'd
it
be a
showing-
twist at the end.
It showing
Yeah.
flashbacks, and
Yeah.
there being a twist at the end that
Yeah.
like he did something terrible or something. That would have
Yeah.
been cool.
But I do like them showing her as a baby because it shows you how hard it really was for him to actually raise a child in that
Oh yeah, those scenes were like just gave me like they were
anxiety.
uncomfortable.
It's like, man, I don't know if I can be a dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like the crying
And,
baby, you're
he's
like,
in
oh my God.
space
He's like,
and-
just shut up, please, just shut up, please.
Yeah,
You're gonna drive me crazy.
yeah.
All right, so then about 3/4 of the way through the movie ish, the daughter's older. She has her period. That's a scene.
Yeah, like they have to throw in like some weird.
Yeah, she's a woman now.
Yeah, it has to be in there.
And Robert Pattinson looks a little older, not quite the age I'm looking for him being like 15 years older, but it was okay. Actually, I gotta get used
Which
to it.
I don't know if like if someone they have some space theory as to why he doesn't age the same way. I don't know.
I
There's
don't
something
know.
with that.
So then they're on the ship, them two, living life per usual. And then all of a sudden
Living
another
life.
their ship 7, right? Their ship
Yeah.
says 7.
Yeah.
Another ship with the number 9 comes up out of nowhere,
Yeah, they find it.
and they dock. And Robert Pattinson goes into the other ship, and he's looking around, and it's just dogs and like a wolf, right?
No, it was just a dog.
Was it a dog?
Yeah, it was just a dog.
Okay, so it's like an Akita or something. I
It
don't
was
know.
just a fucking rabbit.
Yeah, it's like it was just tons of dogs.
No
Or-
law.
okay, all right. You got dead dog corpses. You got tons of puppies, dogs.
Yeah. One looked like it was a wolf. Like the first
That's what I
one,
thought.
yeah,
Yeah,
it looked like a
Tom
wolf.
doesn't
I
think
think
it
it's
was.
just a dog.
Yeah,
It was a rabid dog.
I mean, it looked like a wolf, though. I'm just saying.
Why would they put a wolf with a bunch of dogs?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. It looked more like a wolf just because the way it looked. Like it didn't look like a husky. Because it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
like white and it had like a weird dirty brown kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a wolf, but who knows? Let's just call them all dogs.
dag.
So it's a ship of dogs.
The dogs had no problem reproducing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't understand what. So their experimentation was having a kid, like a child.
But
right?
there was like cages and stuff.
Was there humans?
There had
At
to
one
have been.
point?
There was cages.
Okay, all right. Let's say that there were humans and there was tons of dogs. All right. So
All they had to do was show one skeleton.
maybe they're trying to see if animals can reproduce and live in this.
Yeah, like it's a different crew and their
Yeah.
responsibility is to take care of dogs.
Yeah.
But it's all convicts. Like, and they have that one scene where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Earth, and it's like a lady doing like an interview with some guy.
Yeah, like a
Who's like-
podcast or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like some kind of podcast, and she's interviewing about the idea of it, and
Like a
he's
scientist
saying,
or something.
yeah, he's saying like, oh, the idea is to take convicts on death row and to give them the choice to be part of an experiment and live out their days.
You thought it was like,
but then they
inhumane
keep like
because-
hinting towards the idea that like they've been lied to.
Yeah, because they don't know that they
There's like
can't
this
come
overall
back.
like, like they've lied to us. Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you mean they lied? Like, you think they're gonna? You were on death row. It's not like what's the? There's no what's the motivation behind the lie? Why lie to the convicts? I'm giving you a choice. You want to die in a week via electric chair, or you want to go live out your days on a spaceship?
Yeah, you want to give us
What's the
valuable
fucking point of the
information
lie?
about living in space.
This movie constantly does that, just like hints towards something that would be like a creepier, deeper meaning, but yet like has no content or like any real reason behind it. Like, why?
No, I agree.
Why lie? The messages like, oh, we have to reach them every 24 hours. We have to give them a message, and then like the Dr. Dibs. She's like, when things start to go awry, she's like, oh, I'm going to lie. And she's like, the crew's all fine. Like, why even lie? Like, just so they're going to keep on
But they
the
even said it
support
doesn't even
system?
matter because it would take years for that
It's
message
convicts.
to get.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
guy-
like they're scientists.
Yeah, that scientist in the interview said, they don't even know. He's like, we don't even know what's going on because if they send a message, it takes 4 years to get back to us.
And they can't even send messages back to them.
Yeah.
They can only receive the messages. It's just weird.
Yeah, it took like 15 years for the next ship to arrive anyways.
Right.
You know?
Mm.
But, all right. So where were we? We left. Oh, yeah. So the ship, they board each other. He goes in there, sees it's just dogs, no humans alive. He leaves. The daughter wants a dog. He refuses. The ship is getting closer and closer to the black hole, so Willow convinces Monty to board a shuttle with her and journey through it. Shortly after they enter the black hole, Monty takes Willow's hand as they approach a massive yellow light source, and that's when the movie starts to fade from yellow to white, and that's it. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah, it's implied, they might
kind
die, they might, who
Yeah.
knows? No one
She
really
kept
knows
saying
what
she
happens
had
when you go to a black
feeling
hole.
about it, but obviously, I think Robert Pattinson's like, no, we're just going to end up dying, but...
Yeah, like, I think his only hope was, like, when he saw that ship, was like, oh, maybe they'll help us. You could see, like, the tiny, like, little bit of hope in his face, But as soon as he saw it was his dogs, he's like, fuck it.
Yeah. You want to go to the black hole? Why not?
Let's do it.
Let's go to the black hole.
You want to get your
nothing
head
to
popped?
lose if they somehow magically come out the other end.
God, what a movie.
Yeah, because that was... Okay, so that's another thing. It's like, they sent that ship through the black hole. They're also reproducing. So I was like, at one point I thought, oh, maybe they're trying to get to this black hole and then send each other through it to see what happens. But like, what's the point of the black hole?
They do tell you in the beginning that about the energy. They're trying to harvest energy from it.
Yeah, they're trying to find.
But they don't
alternative-
mention it. That's what bothers me about this movie. They don't mention that again.
Yeah.
How do you harvest energy from?
Their ships don't even look like equipped for it.
Yeah,
They're
I
fucking
know.
like these spaceships are just boxes. Like,
Yeah.
It reminded
fucking
me
design is
of the Cube.
It did, right?
Yeah, the Cube.
You ever seen that movie from the 90s?
Mhm.
The Cube?
Oh man, there's like
Weird
4 of them.
ass fucking movie.
There's like
dude.
4 of them, and they're fucking so weird.
Weird. The first one was definitely the best.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Anyhow, we'll have to watch a Cube sometime on a different podcast.
Yeah. I'll watch on the podcast
Yeah.
Cube.
Because that's not an A24 movie.
Like, how would you harvest energy from a black hole? One, and so okay, then even if you could via its gravity or something, how do you transfer that energy to Earth?
Yeah.
Right? How do I send energy to Earth? It's like
Oh,
that's
we
like
tell
me.
them they
That's
get
like
it in
me,
4
like
years.
Bluetoothing my battery life to you. Like we're just like even that doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't know how we can even do that.
Well, plus if they send a message, they get it 4 years later, and then wherever they are, however, I don't even know how long it would take for them
It's like,
to
oh,
get to that point.
I've got 15 car batteries worth of energy. I'm gonna send
yeah, but
it to
it'd
you.
be more believable if their ship looked like it would be, equipped enough to harvest.
Yeah.
I could believe it if this movie had a ship that had like some sort of like thing on it that looked like they were sucking energy from it somehow.
The
But it didn't look like
experiments-
that. It's just
the
a box.
experiments
Yeah.
make more sense than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
energy.
yeah. But the movie does shift from the first part with the energy
Then
to
to
just experiments.
just-
The other thing too
experiments.
is like Robert Pattinson. Now that I'm thinking about it, in the beginning, like when the baby's inside and he's talking to the baby, he's outside like ratcheting some shit on the ship.
Yeah.
Like, when the hell did he ever get training, or when they ever do that?
Yeah, he's
Or,
not a
like,
scientist. None of them are scientists.
That's now that I'm thinking about.
A few
it,
of them do have skills though. They do imply that.
Oh,
one's
yeah,
a
yeah,
pilot,
one's a
one's a
pilot,
captain.
one's the captain.
The crazy, like they're all
The
convicts,
doctor.
but one's a doctor.
Yeah.
But that's where I think the concept's flawed.
Yeah.
Like they're always gonna die. Like these ships, like the dog one, the humans never will survive because they're convicts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not NASA scientists. They're not Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not convicts that got in trouble for like
Petty crimes. White collar.
Yeah, these are convicts that murdered people.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, Robert
the worst of
Pattinson's
the worst.
character murdered his childhood friend because his childhood friend, I think, killed his dog. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, so he's not.
it was a
too
little
bad.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
His best friend was his dog. He makes a lot of dog references.
Said he was raised by his dog.
Remember when he was saying he would
Time
say
to-
time to feed the dogs
Yeah.
whenever he had to submit a report.
Yeah.
Like he definitely he always thinks about that dog. You can tell.
Yeah, when he had the opportunity to take a puppy from the dog ship and raise a puppy
Oh,
with
yeah,
his
he said
daughter,
Doesn't matter.
he didn't want to do it. He's worried about the radiation, but he wasn't worried about the radiation when they flew headfirst into a black hole.
It's true.
Maybe he just knew. He was like, I'm fucking taken to the black hole. Like when he got on, he's just like, nope.
That's it.
I mean, you can't live out your days, dude. Just live out your days.
Yeah, because like he said, like it's always gonna end one way. They're gonna end up in that black hole.
Right.
Like their ship will.
I would rather ride it out. I guess ride it out in the big one.
I don't know. I can't believe you made it that far. It's so boring.
Yeah.
Ride it out in the big ship. Fuck it.
Like they didn't even give these convicts a ping pong table or something.
Yeah, I
Hang
know.
out.
They weren't even allowed to fuck each other.
It was Oh my god, it was such a flawed fucking concept for a fucking space mission.
And
Yeah,
you are
it's weird.
surprised too that they don't like revolt. They didn't. I don't know. They just like would go along with it. I mean, I guess at some point you'd be like, well, we have no choice but just to work together. Because I guess if they all don't do their reports every day, then the system will shut down or whatever. But
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
at any point the captain could probably like if shit started to go awry, he could like shut down the whole mission and they would all die.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point of killing
Yeah.
one person? It would just kill yourself.
Right.
But obviously, that dude with the neck tattoo didn't give a fuck.
No, yeah.
Yeah, which we all knew.
He said, "That's it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you know what?
Tonight's the night."
Tonight's the night.
The movie just wasn't. It just didn't captivate, and it didn't really grab my attention enough to give a shit.
Yeah, but one of the females would want to fuck too.
Yeah.
They would want to have sex as well.
Yeah.
So
All right. So story wise,
people would end up fucking each other.
for this movie, we're all.
It's a big stanker.
It's a big thing. It's a big thumbs down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big thumbs down.
We'll gauge it on that. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs down. Okay.
yeah, okay.
All right. So what do you think? What do you think about the performances of the actors?
I mean,
Uh,
Robert he was fine. I mean, I didn't think he was bad.
He was. I do think he was good.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say he was bad. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Definitely.
tough because it's not like there's no content to his role.
Yeah, but I thought like a lot of physical stuff going on with his face. A lot of close-ups.
I don't know. I didn't really like him.
No,
No.
I liked him. What about Good Time? What do you think was?
What did his character had nothing to offer?
Yeah, I guess. I just thought he did. I thought he did good enough with what he was given. I think.
In Good Times, I liked him.
Yeah, Good Times. We'll watch Good Times in a few weeks.
Yeah.
That's a much better movie.
Yeah, Good Times, he was really good.
Really good.
This movie, kind of a stanker.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the movie
But I don't
itself
know-
was a
but
stinker,
I
so
don't
it's
know
hard.
if that's because of him or because of just the movie.
But I never found any of the performances overly cheesy. Like not.
Yeah, like
That
in
wasn't
terms
what-
of like The Cube, it was definitely like better
Well, I think-
acting.
Well,
Because this movie reminds me so much of The Cube because like The Cube did things too that like it would show you scenes or like well in The Cube they were moving from room to room in The Cube, and they would like go into a room and you'd be like, this makes no sense. And like this movie does that. It like constantly introduces things and you're like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
It like felt like such a low budget movie in that aspect, where they were just like the guy burying himself alive in a 6 inches of dirt in a fucking garden. Even if you had unlimited dirt, even if you just wanted to go bury yourself alive right now outside in the backyard, how are you going to do it? You can't bury yourself alive. You'd have to set up like a dump truck with thing and have a remote in your hand and like lay in a hole and like press a button and have it dump dirt on you.
Yeah.
You'd never be able to like pile dirt on top of yourself with your own hands enough to suffocate and crush you.
Yeah.
That's what it is when you bury yourself alive. You're suffocating and crushing somebody.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just starving yourself to death like Gandhi. Like you just choose not to eat and drink.
Yeah.
Like, get up, you're fine. Like, no, I'm not fine. I'm dying. You know? And this
man.
movie just kept doing that. Just kept jumping the shark in those moments and just like trying to pull off like edgy scenes. It's just like, not doing it for me, dude.
Yeah.
But-
They just didn't execute well.
But like you just said, Mike, the acting was never really that bad of acting.
No.
Quality of acting wasn't that.
No, because when I think, even when I was watching it, I never was like, this acting sucks. This is whatever. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? And then like trying to follow it, and then just being like, and then not really caring. So like, actually, never really at no point did I ever think like that. Or that's terrible acting on any of them.
No, the acting didn't do this movie.
Never came to mind.
Like Andre 3000, I thought he was fine. I've never found him to be a great actor, anyways.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a movie in a long time. But all right, well, let's go over to the facts, man. Let's learn a little more about.
What about
this
like
movie.
cinematography, though? You know, because we're
I do like the way it was shot. There were some good shots.
Yeah.
Some of the space stuff, because I know like Interstellar, right? Christopher Nolan and that scientist, I don't know his name, that he hired to like make sure the movie was scientifically accurate.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why Interstellar is such a great movie, is because it was scientifically accurate. Like a lot of the stuff in that movie was plausible.
Didn't
with
Neil
actual
deGrasse
science.
Tyson work on that movie?
No, he didn't work on the movie.
Oh, he didn't.
No,
Oh.
but he came out and said the movie was accurate.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it
No,
was.
a famous scientist.
Bill Nye, science guy.
Yeah, I think that was it. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. I can't remember his name. I don't feel like pulling it up.
Yeah, but no,
Um,
in like movies like Gravity or like
yeah,
The
like-
Martian,
Like movies
Those
that take
movies-
science seriously. This
Yeah.
movie, you can tell.
like when
It
he's
doesn't.
working on the outside of the ship, like
Yeah.
he's like kneeling on the ship like it's a hard ground. He's
Yeah.
not floating away. He drops his wrench and it
And
falls.
The,
But like
the
the implication is that it's because they're near a black hole.
like when it goes back to the cinematography, there were some nice, amazing space scenes and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and like good shots,
shots
of
of
like
the
close-ups
black
of their
hole.
faces. But
Yeah.
then there's shots of like their floating bodies in space, and I was like,
looks super chintzy,
it
like-
looks a little cheap,
Yeah.
you know. I
It
don't know.
reminded me of like cheesy like TV show quality,
yeah,
like Netflix,
like a sci. No, it looked like a sci-fi show at certain.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
OA. Like
Well, that's Netflix, but
this is outer space,
yeah,
and it's like no, it's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is outer space. Like this is a lady in a room who's the universe, and she's touching a soup or whatever she was doing. Like this is too cheesy. You're losing me.
Mm.
All right, let's go to the facts, man. Kick us off.
Robert Pattinson took the role.
Pattinson,
Robert Pattinson,
not Rachel Patterson.
gay.
Rachel Patterson, who has no sense of smell.
Fun
Fun
web
fact.
toes. She had web toes.
And web toes. Fun
And
fact.
huge
All right, Robert Pattinson.
So for the baby, there was a little bit of a mix-up. Originally, it was
They
going
lost
to
the
be
baby.
two twins, but they were going to do kind of like
Mary Kate and Ashley
Mary
Olsen.
Kate and Ashley, where they were going to use
Switch
the
'em,
babies,
yeah.
but switch them
Uh-huh.
out. But Robert Patterson,
Patterson.
I'm going to keep saying. I'm going to keep thinking of it. I'm going to call him I'm going to call him Monty.
Okay, call him Monty. There you go.
So Monty, when he met the girls, he wasn't having a good connection with them, and they were crying and blah blah blah. So
Really?
then- yeah. So then he thought like it was. He's like, how am I going to do this whole movie if these kids are just going to be crying the whole time? So then
They
he
fired him and they hired a new baby.
Well, then he knew a friend of his. So a friend that he went to school with actually had recently just had a daughter, and so he thought of that. And then ironically, the director, Claudia.
No, is it Claire Denis?
Yeah, Claire Denis, still insane.
All right, there we go.
Claire Denis also felt the same thing, and she told some people, like her the producer or whatever, that she was going to get rid of the babies, and they thought that she was joking. And then, like, very last minute, I think the Sunday before they started casting,
Yeah.
Robert talked to his friend. He was on board. They flew out to London. The director met the baby, and they decided to go with the baby.
Wow.
Wow.
And she said it was like the best thing that happened because the baby was open to people, and then they even actually got its first steps on camera as well too while they were
It
filming.
was
That
a
was
cute
real?
baby.
Yeah,
I was wondering that because
Yeah.
that looks super genuine. I was like, man, how do you like? I was literally thinking that during that scene.
Yeah.
Like, how do you catch a baby at that perfect time to be able to film a baby actor trying to walk?
yeah.
I thought
You
know.
literally have to have a
That's
baby.
why I
that
kind of
can't
liked
walk.
Robert Pattinson in the movie, because there were scenes like that where it was genuine and it felt.
I guess because he knows that baby.
Yeah,
he
like-
loves that baby.
Those are some of the best scenes. Him and
Yeah.
the baby, but even some of the crying was a little annoying. But
Yeah,
that's
I
his
know.
personal.
Like I said, should have been him and the baby, then him and the baby in the first act, then the daughter aging.
Yeah.
There should have been more ages.
It should have been more about just them two,
It should have been more
with
ages.
minor
A toddler.
flashbacks.
You know what does this? You know what does it better? that movie I Am Mother on Netflix.
Oh, really?
It's basically this.
Wow.
But it's not in space, but it's like
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic barren world,
Mm.
baby and a robot, and you see the baby aging and turning into basically a 15-year-old. The super
The movie could have been way less horny. Like, it was too
the
horny.
horniness, man. Jeez.
All right, next fact.
Well, she's a French director, you know. For the French are all about like sex
Yeah,
and
hell yeah.
Oh yeah,
sex
bunch
and
of
smoking
sex pots.
cigarettes.
they're all about sucking and fucking. So Claire, she like a lot of these movies we talk about, had the idea
Dummy.
since 2002. So she's had this idea for this movie for a while, and the original person that she had in mind, or really only considered, was Philip
Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Dorset.
And then he died.
He was one of the best. He was one of the best actors at
Yeah.
the time.
And then he
That's
died,
really
and she said that she had no idea who it was going to be.
Huh.
And then
That'd
eventually
be
ended
weird,
up reading
dude.
Robert.
That would have been weird. An older guy.
Well, I mean,
How the fuck is he supposed to age 15 years?
if this movie was filmed 10 years, she had the idea for 15 years, so
Mm.
I like
10
better
years
with,
ago,
a
if it
younger,
was-
scrappy kind of guy.
yeah, no, I do like that they went with Robert Pattinson. I just wish the movie was better.
Yeah.
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 She
So-
probably should have kept the idea
Yeah, because it could have been a whole different
on her
movie if it
computer
had
where
Philip.
she wrote it.
Could have been like an older, maybe it went a different direction. Like we discussed before, the number 7 is on the spaceship as well as all of the equipment that the prisoners were wearing, which was just a sign or kind of to lead to that there's more than one ship out there, and they're all just running different experiments for whatever reason. Now, there was something interesting that
Yes.
addresses all the
Yeah.
fluids and sexuality in this movie.
Okay.
So Claire Denis,
Claude
this is
Denis.
what she was quoted saying somewhere.
Okay.
She said, "The film is not about sexuality. No, the film is about sexuality, not sex. Sensuality, not pornography. Sexuality is about fluids. As soon as sexuality stirs within us, we know it's all about fluids, blood, semen, etc. I thought if I wanted that fluid subtext to work, we had to reduce the sex act to masturbation. I forbade myself any naked scenes, no erect cocks, no gaping pussies."
What? This is real?
This is real. We did it another way. High life speaks only of desire and of fluids. The film shows many taboos about our own bodies. The taboos of intimacy, and the taboo around, and of course, incest. It's a taboo,
Incest?
but it exists. So when I read incest, are there hints that Richard Patterson is banging his baby
No,
or
there
something?
wasn't. There wasn't.
What
Because
the fuck?
it wasn't, because when I read the incest part at the very end, I was like, wait, what?
What does she mean? No nudity. They show full on
She
tits.
said hard cock and gave him pussy.
No
That's
erect
not true.
cocks, no gaping
Dude,
pussies.
they show full on tits fucking 5 times. They show boob. They show the chick milking herself, covered in her own breast milk.
Yeah.
All over the bed. They show period blood. They show the biggest bush I've ever seen.
They show the baby's vagina.
They showed a baby's vagina.
Yeah, that was weird.
They showed that chick ride the fucking Sibian thing.
Yep. Sibian. Futuristic Sibian. The box.
The fuck box.
The fuck box.
Bird box. They showed fucking that guy rape. They showed rape.
Yep.
They showed murder. They showed gore.
That's a weird quote. Do you make that up?
No, I
They
swear
showed,
to
dude.
God.
Even the scene
I
where he's
swear to
raping her
God.
and he's on the ground and he's on all fours. You see his butthole.
Oh my god.
You see his butthole and you see his balls.
Yeah, you
dangling
do
down
see his
between-
balls.
Yeah.
dangling down between his
Yeah.
legs. What is she talking about?
I don't know.
This honestly,
I don't like this lady.
She sounds insufferable.
She should go back to
She
France.
sounds pretentious and
I
insufferable.
mean, you never know. I mean, she must
Go
speak
film-
English too. But I
Go
was gonna
film a fucking rose in black and white for 15 hours and call it art, please. Get away from me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Go film twins on bicycles, okay? Because I'm sure that's what you think is fucking art. What the fuck?
All right, let's go over before we kick it over to the review man. Before we kick it over to you, I just want to. The Rotten Tomatoes score was an 82%, certified fresh.
For critics?
Yes, and it's. I'll read the caption. High Life is visually arresting as it is challenging, confounding, and ultimately rewarding. Which is to say, it's everything film fans expect from director Claire Denis. Now I'm starting to think, are we just Are we not capable of watching these
No, I think we like them more than others. I think that's why we made this podcast, because we enjoy out of the box movies more than other people, and we're willing to sit there and suffer through maybe hard to watch scenes, or even like last week's movie. I love that movie, but it was a little slow at some points, and my eyes
I liked last week's.
I liked
my
eyes started drooping at a couple points because it was so slow. Like, you know, but like I still liked it, but that's kind of, you know, that's the burden of it when you watch movies like this. They're very heavily toned. It's not
and I was looking forward to this movie.
But so. there's instances where movies go too far and try too hard.
Yeah. There's just no payoff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. It's just like some movies, they can kind of get your attention and like you enjoy it going on this roller coaster, and you get, even like with last week's, it still left a lot of questions. And we were like, oh, well, maybe that, but it was still satisfying. We still got something out of it. With this, it's like you just don't.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like there's no point in looking up anything about this movie.
Yeah, I don't even care.
You know,
that's a
like I don't even care. Like when we watched The Witch, or when we watched
no, because we like
Enemy.
Yeah, we've watched enough of these movies already before the podcast.
I spend the next hour after watching the movie on you know, the Reddit posting, the official discussion about the movie, or I fucking look up videos on YouTube about the ending explained.
And I feel like we could do that for this movie, but I'm not even going to. No, and movies are subjective. I get it. You know, I'm not gonna. If critics liked it, I know it's their own choice.
I don't even think we need to look up more about this. There's nothing deeper there.
No,
the deeper is what is coming right from the director's mouth. And I feel like she's kind of bullshitting, to be honest. I feel like she's just bullshitting to make herself look good. Like, the movie definitely hits on heavy tones.
Maybe in France they like this type of shit, but I don't know.
The movie hits on heavy tones. It definitely does that, but it doesn't do it well, and there's nothing really more there.
This movie didn't do anything particularly well.
No.
And the audience score was a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. So,
wow, it's too high.
There's the difference between critics and average people. Once again, a divisive movie. All right, let's kick it over to the review man.
Facts man.
All right.
No, what?
Yeah,
review man.
Oh, facts.
Chase, stay in your lane.
Facts round 2.
I'm gonna do facts.
Should I do the? Because this is an interesting movie, because this has been one of the first movies that we watched that I think we all don't really like.
Yeah, we all went into it thinking, oh, Chase didn't really know much about it, but me and you went into it thinking we're gonna like
it. Like it's gonna be a fun.
I thought
movie.
Chase would like it because we liked it. But man,
bad.
No.
So
you led me astray.
Usually, I'll read bad review first, and then the good review, because the good review we usually agree with. Should I do it opposite?
Yeah, do good first.
Read the good one.
Yeah, do
it. Because I know we're not going to agree with this idiot.
Do it.
All right. 9 out of 10 stars. Kinetic and primal power. A black hole is the destination for a group of young prisoners who, as they come to realize, are not coming back, or so it seems. Kept on a leash and in suspended animation, fed a steady diet of lies, and treated as experiments and not as human beings, the young perps find their own often brutal ways of rebellion. Yet for Monty, who has a baby daughter to care for, things are more complicated. The responsibility is greater than anything, even the looming black hole. It is important to show, said Claude Denis in Toronto's film festival, how people are feeling even when they are brutal. Raw emotion and primal energy are on display in this kinetic, startling film as people react when they are backed into a corner in deep space. Also, there is Juliette Binoche. I don't know which one that is.
I'll have to pull it up.
As a narcissistic jailkeeper. Oh, it's the nurse.
Okay.
So, what more do you need? Exclamation point. Claire Denis was able to...
We've said her name in 6 different ways. At one point, he called
her
Claire Denis.
Yeah, Denise.
Claude Denis.
All right, go on.
Was able to realize her compelling vision with adequate financial support and star power. Everything aligns for her so well. The cinematography of looking at space, stars and nebulas, the cast, the themes, the vision, action, and depth. So good. Just so good. 66 out of 146 people found this helpful. 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Do you agree?
I did like the cinematography.
I did like the cinematography. I did like the space stuff they showed. Like the stars that they showed, the nebula that they showed in that scene was cool. But when they say that, when this reviewer says that things are different for Monty because he has a daughter to care for, they're wrong. Because everything that happens in this movie it's actually I kind of feel when I was watching, I kind of feel like a lot of space movies do this, where it's like, okay, 9 people on a spaceship, right? They're going out into deep space for some crazy mission. They're scientists, they're convicts, they're whatever they are. It's always like they're out in space. There's like maybe a 6-month period of time where everything happens, and then it's like boom, end, and then there's like a 15-year stretch of like the one guy like toughing it out by himself. Like I feel like space movies always fall into that, where it's like all the events happen in the beginning, and then there's like 15-year stretch of just survival of like the main character trying to figure out what to do, like yada yada. And this movie does the same thing. It's like they were only in space for 3 years, which is another question, like how they get from Earth to like where they were in 3 years.
It says 3 years?
Yeah, remember in the movies they say 3 years? They say at this point we had only been in space for 3 years.
What the fuck? They were popping out kids left and right.
And like, think about it, they're convicts, right? So it's like they committed these crimes on Earth, and now they're in space. It's not like this was 50 years ago they committed these crimes. They committed these crimes. It's been a few years at tops. Now they've been in space for 3 years, like. And then that chick literally gets in the spaceship and flies into the black hole. Like they were one short little space flight away from the black hole for 15 years. Jeez. Because then at the end of the movie, they do the same thing. They get back in a spaceship and they fly right into the black hole. It's like they never got any closer. They never got any further away. It makes no fucking sense. So I don't agree with this reviewer. I think they're an idiot. Now let's go to the bad review.
Okay.
2 out of 10. No fun at all.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah, I mean, definitely no fun. Go on.
I see a lot of movies. Also to be noted, the first review is September 26, 2018, which is probably like
after that.
This person saw it.
They must have saw it
from the festival.
Yeah, they must have. How
and now
they watched it?
the angry review, the bad review, is April 9th, 2019. This person saw it in theaters.
So they thought, yeah. Okay.
So there's a difference in moviegoers right there. I see a lot of movies, way too many movies. So obviously I've seen some horrible stuff. This isn't the worst, but it's pretty close. There's no rhyme or reason to the entire movie. The lead, Pattinson.
Holy shit. He's Batman, for God's sake.
Pattinson.
Yeah, but who the fuck
Patterson
is
so
Pattinson?
easy.
It's always Patterson.
Patterson's so easy to say.
Get rid of the IN. Put the ER back in it.
Pattinson.
Jesus.
Okay, the lead, Pattinson, is
He's only been a famous actor for fucking a decade.
Yeah, and what has he been in? Nothing.
Twilight.
What else?
A24.
Wait till you see Good Times. That's a good movie. Right,
A24 Pod, A24 Podcast, Pattinson, whatever.
It's all the same.
Whatever, dude.
All right, go on.
Is an unlikable character and lacks credibility as an actual person that could exist anywhere. His redeeming trait is that he doesn't want anything from anyone. That's a powerful statement. Remember that. His redeeming trait is that he doesn't want anything from anyone. He mostly mutters to the audience and punches other characters in the face when he's not caring for a baby. The lead antagonist is an even more convoluted character. She's a criminal. She's a scientist. She's a sex freak. In charge of the mission, she collects sperm. She collects sperm and is for some reason never explained reasoning trying to make a radiation-proof baby. I think they tried to make her sexy, but it just comes off as disgusting. If you're looking for a super slow flick with a wailing baby and muddled storyline with no payoff at the end, then you should give The High Life a watch. Otherwise, you're better off just drinking A High Life and playing on your phone.
Yeah. That's a good review.
It's a good review. I agree with a lot on this.
I do.
That's why I don't like Pattinson's character, Monty, because like he said, his redeeming trait is that he doesn't want anything from anyone. And it's true when you think back on the movie, the best thing that he does in the movie is by not involving himself.
Yeah.
He's celibate.
Yeah.
So it's the best thing he's done in the movie, you know? He doesn't cause drama. That's the best thing he does. There's no like heroic moment. There's no redeeming moment.
He does raise a child. That takes a lot of willpower.
But after Claire hinting at the incest, we don't know what was that period blood or was that, did some damage.
Was that hymen blood?
Yeah.
Maybe in a fucking weird French
God, yeah,
edit.
whatever was hymen blood.
No, maybe in the weird French edit there was incest, but in the American one we just watched, there was definitely no incest.
Well, I even said it when we were watching, I was like, what are they supposed to do? Like, is he supposed to fuck her now?
What are you doing,
I'm glad they didn't go there, because it was fucking
brother?
Weird.
Yeah.
He calls him dad at one point.
Why are you watching me change?
Dad, what are you doing?
Would you guys...
Mom's gonna walk in.
And then, like, what they say about the lead antagonist. She was really fucking bad. And like we were saying, is she a scientist? Like, she's a fucking convict. She's a scientist. And like, why does she have so much power? Why is she in control of everyone?
That's why that goes back to what I said. This shit is flawed from the beginning.
Why do they?
It's a
listen to
fucking
her?
dumb concept with convicts running the space mission.
And then they show her like, oh, she's upping the amount of sedatives in our drinking water to keep us from fighting each other. Why is anyone let her do that?
I know.
Just walk in the room, punch her in the face full force.
See, what would have made more sense is if they gave the doctor who runs the mission like more control. Like if they put like implants into them and said like, if you attack this doctor, I can press this button and blow your fucking head off.
Yeah, if it was like more control.
There's nothing.
If it was more like
these convicts could have fucking taken over the ship at any point.
What's that movie where they're on an island and they have to hunt each other?
Oh, The Island. No, The Condemned.
Yeah, with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah.
Jesus.
Where they're like being monitored the whole time. It's like, if you break these rules, I'll fucking do this. You know, that would have been cool.
Or like Suicide Squad.
And it's on the internet. Like you can watch them. It's like Big Brother, but it's them in the spaceship. That would have been cool.
That would be
fucking flawed.
They could have done a lot of cool things.
Well,
They could have done a lot of cool things.
Well.
Maybe we should just start directing and writing movies.
I think we should, man. I think this is where this podcast is headed.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Would you guys recommend this movie to
No.
someone?
No.
I'm giving it a 0.
All right, hold on. All right.
I'd recommend it to someone if
All
they
right, so
wanted
we're
a
gonna
movie
do
to hate
our episode review,
Oh, yeah.
and we're gonna do it's out of A24.
Yep.
A24s.
So we
on.
So we each get 8
each
points
get
to
8.
review it.
Mhm.
You know, add that up times 3.
What did we
That's
give it
24.
last week?
It was a 21 out of 24. It ended up
So
being
you gave it
87.
straight 7s?
It ended
yeah.
up being 87. All right, so let's go. Let's start with you, Chase. Out of 8, what would you give this movie?
I think a 1.
Really?
I'd give it.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I'd give it a 2, but that's at that point. I mean, then you're at 25%. I don't think it's worth 25%.
All right, so all right, dude. 1's your review. That's fine.
I
Hey,
just-
dude, you're
Yeah.
all right. What do you think, Tom?
I'll give it out of 8. I'll give it a 3, just because like we said, the acting isn't that bad. Like nobody blew the movie other than the director. The director blew the movie. The script blows the movie.
Yeah.
The actors did a good job for what A24 it's usually low budget movies.
Yeah.
But I feel like they pulled it off. They pulled off space in a way that if there weren't all these other problems, it would have been okay. Like it would have been a passable space movie. And I feel like that's probably not easy to do on a low budget. So I think it's deserving of
All
at
right,
least
so
a 3.
All right, well, I'm going to go with the 4. So that's 50%. I think that's as low as I'm willing to go because I
Really?
think because I think there's some redeeming qualities to the movie.
Yeah.
I just
You know,
feel
would I
like-
recommend it? Hell no. Would I want to? I'm never watching that movie again.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the worst piece of shit I've ever watched, nor is it even good. So I'm going to go with a 4. So that's 4 plus 3 is 7. That's 8. That's 8 out of 24 A24s.
Not good.
8. Oh,
30.
God.
Quick math here.
33.
That's a 33.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So we're actually kind of close to the audience score.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. Our review system works.
People are
Last
just
week
like
we were
us.
really close to the Rotten Tomatoes score, and this week we're close to the audience score.
Yeah, it works well. I think the A24.
Yeah.
It's the A24. It's the secret
That's what it
method.
stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 8 A24s out of 24s.
Highlight.
Okay.
I did not say that right, but
24s out of 24.
That's highlight for you, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! It's another episode in the bag.
Thanks for listening to the A24 Pod.
We will see you guys next week with another A24 flick.
Ooh.
We won't know till the day of, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Hopefully something a little more optimistic than this fucking shitty space movie.
guaranteed.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.